Hey guys, I'm back again here to show you a brief walkthrough. I say brief because I think I'm not going to take that long. Alright, so let me go ahead and share my screen and I will show you how to add multiple jokes to your JokeBot. Alright, so let's take a look. So here's my JokeBot, or one version of it. When I click the button, it asks, why did the cows hate each other? Okay, so that's what we want to do. We want to click the button and now it asks something else. What are cow knees called? All right, let's try that one more time. How do farmers count their cows? So notice I'm getting different jokes each time. And now here it's repeating, why did the cows hate each other? Okay, so I obviously have a limited amount of jokes in here, and I did that on purpose. Here, you can see all of my jokes. I have an array. So var jokes, I created a variable called jokes, and then I created an array. And in the array, I have 4 strings. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4. And we know they're strings because they are wrapped in quotation marks. So I have 4 strings, each separated by a comma. So 4 strings, comma after the first string, comma after the second string, and a comma after the third string. No comma here because there's nothing after it. So I have 4 strings, each separated by a comma, and these strings are my jokes. And this is called an array. An array because I'm using the box brackets, and the name of my array is jokes. So hopefully you've gotten this far because last week we learned arrays. And I told you guys I wanted you to use arrays to add multiple jokes to your JokeBot. So here I have my code that's going to begin my joke. And I removed some of it that I had earlier because it went along with some other code and that's not going to work for you. But here we go. So my function is called begin. And I have my joke in a couple of functions. So first, if it will confirm, hello, want to hear a joke? So let's, in my HTML, that happens when you click this button. So when you click this button on click, it will begin. It will run that code. And that code, once again, is going to confirm that you want to hear a joke. So let's try it. Hello, want to hear a joke? If I click cancel, no, nothing happens. But if I click OK, then it's going to run this here, this function tell joke. And tell joke is what really runs my joke here. So let's take a look down here. Now I put this in a do while loop, and we haven't learned this yet. And this is actually something that I recently looked up. I'm always learning, and you don't need to know all of the different types of loops and everything to be a developer or to be a programmer. So here's an example of something that I kind of just learned. And so what this is going to do is it tells my code to do this thing here. And this right here is basically the code to randomize. Pick a random number is what it is. Pick a random number out of the jokes.length minus 1. So here's what that is. Jokes is my array. Jokes.length is the length of my array. So 1, 2, 3, 4. However many objects or however many pieces of data are in my array. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So jokes.length is going to be 4. Now I subtract 1 here. The reason I subtract 1 is because later I ask the joke, and here I have my jokes array, and I am trying to access the joke at the index. So using the index here, I get a random number between 0 and 4, and then I plug that, between 0 and 3, and I plug that here into my jokes. So if I don't do jokes minus 1, sometimes I will get 4 because it will be a random number between 1 and 4. And there is nothing at index 4 because remember, arrays start at index 0. So I have 0, 1, 2, 3 for my indexes. 0, 1, 2, 3. So the length is 4 because there are 4 objects in, or 4 items in here. And if I get 4, it will say 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4 will be undefined. So that's why I subtract 1 here. So that now instead of going from 1 to 4, it goes from 0 to 3. So later down here, I can plug it in here. So I have my var response where I'm saving whatever the user types in. I prompt them with jokes at the index random joke. And random joke is going to be my random number between 0 and 3. And let's say I get 3, then it will be jokes at 0, 1, 2, 3. It will be this joke here at index 3. Now let's say the random number here is 2. Then it will be jokes at the index 0, 1, 2, this one. So that's how I'm getting a random joke every time. This do while loop, I'll explain. It's gonna run this code, so it's gonna randomize the number as many times as it needs to while the random joke is equal to the previous joke. So this is my code where I stop it from repeating the same joke twice in a row. I don't like that because if you get the answer, then you get the answer. So then finally right here, at the end of all of my code, I set the variable previous joke, and so you would need a variable. Mine is down there somewhere, but you want to have this defined up here, var, or you want to have it declared previous joke, previous joke. So here I declare a variable previous joke, and here you're defining it, where you're setting it equal to something. So you want to have this up here if you're going to run code like this. And then at the end of all my code, I set the previous joke equal to the random joke. So remember, random joke is just a number that we use to select the joke. So if random joke is 1, let's say random joke is 1, then I get 0, 1. I'll get this joke when I plug it in to my array. So jokes at 1 is, why do cows wear bells? All right, next we have next I'm setting the previous joke. So this variable previous joke, I set it equal to 1, which is the random joke. So now when I re-click the button and re-randomize it, it's going to get a random number. And if that random number is 1 again, if that random number is 1, then while the random joke, so while that random number is equal to the number it was before the previous joke, then do this code again. And so then if it gets 1 again, it'll keep doing it until it gets something other than 1. So it'll keep doing it. If it gets 0, then great, it only runs once. So this here is just making sure that it doesn't repeat twice in a row. All right, so that is my code to ask multiple questions. Why do cows wear bells? Hello, want to hear a joke? How do farmers count their cows? All right, so you probably have this part already. Now let's talk about the answers. The answers we are going to get in a very similar way. So let's just take this jokes variable here, and I'm going to copy it. I'm going to paste it right here, right underneath. And I'm going to change this array to be called answers. Okay, so now right here, you probably guessed it, I can just change these to the answers. What are cows' knees called? Oh, you guys are going to get spoilers. Cows' knees are called Burger joints. LOL. All right. Why do cows wear bells? Well, that's easy. Because their horns don't work. Okay, next we have, why did the cows hate each other? They had beef. How do farmers count their cows? With a calculator. All right, so I have my jokes and I have my answers. And now here's the easy part. You probably have code that already does this. You just need to alter it a little bit. What we need to do when we get a joke is check if the answer that the user put in is equal to the answer that corresponds with that joke. So the cool thing about this is my answers are in the same order as my questions, so I can use the same random number to access the answers. So here we are asking the joke, response equals prompt jokes at random joke. So now I want to check if response is whatever I put into that box when it asks me the question. So if response triple equals, all right, and this is answers at the same interval, so random joke here. If response equals answers at the same number, then run my code that does whatever. Says correct. All right, so if response triple equals answers, then alert correct. If it doesn't, so if the response is not the answer, else alert wrong. And then alert answers at random joke. So you can see here that this is just like using the variable where I only have one joke and one answer, only here I'm getting my answer from an array. Answers at the index random joke. And here random joke, remember, is my random number. And so as long as these are in the same order, the number will work. As long as the answers are in the same order as the jokes, the same number will work for them. So here we have what are cow knees called. All right, let's check this. Let's see if it does anything. Hello, want to hear a joke? Okay. Why did the cows hate each other? Okay, now let me check because I haven't done anything to make sure that I get the answer right. I haven't made it any easier to answer the question. I have to type the exact string the way it's written right now. So why did the cows hate each other? Let's say because they had beef. Correct. Okay, I guessed. All right. Yeah, they had beef. So there are things you can do to make it easier to get the answers right. And I believe I showed you that in the last video. So you guys, this is just an explanation on how to add multiple jokes and multiple answers. So you take this and add it to your code. If you delete all your code and start with this, this is what you'll have. But you've already made some progress, so add this to your code here, what I just did, and that is the walkthrough of how you add multiple jokes and multiple answers. And I will catch you guys later.